What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. On today's video, we're going to be reviewing the Hyped Hybrid by Roto Grip. Now, the Hyped Hybrid is in the HP2 category. And guys, if you guys like this video and you want to see more reviews like this, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, hit that notification bell. And if you like this jersey or any of the jerseys in any of my videos, coolwick.com and use my promo code MOTIVELOOT10 and that'll get you 10% off your entire order. So the Hyped Hybrid, according to Roto Grip's website, features the Hyped core, which in 15 pounds has an RG of 2.52 and a max differential of 0.036. And then wrapped around that core is the VTC Hybrid reactive cover stock that comes out of box at a 1500 grit polished finish. So this Hyped ball came out alongside the Hyped Pearl, and I instead went for the Hybrid because I wanted something that was going to be a little bit earlier and a little bit smoother overall. Now, I'm not expecting this ball to be smooth or early, but it'll definitely be smoother and earlier than the Pearl. And then with the layout on this Hyped Hybrid, I went with my standard symmetrical layout, which is 50 by 4.5 by 30. Now, what I'm looking for out of this ball on a house shot is, with the polish, it's going to be the ability to get in as the lanes break down a little bit. But I am going to tell you guys that as soon as I'm done filming this video, I'm going to knock the polish off this ball and probably hit it with like a 3000 finish. And then that'll allow me to have a ball that I can throw on the fresh and keep my angles a little bit more shut down and play a little bit straighter. Let me know down below in the comments if you guys have a Hyped Hybrid or a Hyped Pearl, or what's your favorite ball in the HP2 category line of balls. There's also going to be a link in the description where you can order your very own Hyped Hybrid or literally anything bowling related. Going through those links directly supports the channel, so supporting Bowler's Mart directly supports me, and I would super appreciate it if you guys went through those links. So I'm going to take you guys out on the lanes now so that we can see this Hyped Hybrid in action. This is definitely not 3-1. So that's a pretty good start so far for the Hyped Hybrid. It is, okay, it's a little bit more angular than I thought it was gonna be. But all that tells me is that once I knock the shine off, this thing is gonna be amazing. I don't love the way it's coming around the corner. I mean, we are bowling on a fresh, typical house shot. So on a fresh house shot, for me, I stay away from the shinier balls. I typically stay with a little bit of surface just to get them to smoothen out that down lane reaction. If I was using this like game 3, game 4, once the lanes are broken down and I need that angular shape, I think it's gonna be really, really good. But from what I'm looking for, I think I need to knock the shine off. I've been liking these like HP2 category balls, you know, HP1 category balls, like those lower performance balls with a little bit of surface on the fresh, because as you guys can see, it allows me to play the part of the lane that I'm A, most comfortable with, and B, the part of the lane that I can repeat shots the most. So when we're talking about scoring in league and scoring in general, the biggest factor is not how you come out of the ball, it's not your rev rate, it's the ability to repeat shots, period, the end. So I'm gonna keep chasing this left throughout the video. Let's get back on the lanes. Oh, slow and it bumped. Oh. Take the 5 out. So, can we just talk about that 479 real quick? Because I mean, sure, it was a little high, but that was pretty brutal. And what I'm seeing is that this ball, I mean, it's a higher on the high end of medium RG. Differential's kind of like in the middle-ish, you know, and it is coming off the spot so hard. So what does the Pearl do from that same part of the lane? I mean, it should, in theory, come off the spot a little bit harder, but I kind of like what I'm seeing, that even though it's hooking a lot, as I chased it left into a little bit more volume on this house shot, it still wanted to come around the corner. And that's the big thing that I see with some of these like lower performance bowling balls, is that once you get into the soup in the middle part of the lane, they stop hooking. But this Hyped Hybrid has me a little hyped.
Bruh.
Oh, that was a terrible pun. Oh my God, that was terrible. But it does, it has me hyped that as I move in, it can handle the volume and still go through the pins. And it's running over the 8-pin quite a bit, so let's just keep chasing it left. Oh boy. Oh, there's it. So I think that last shot especially is going to be close to where the limits are of this ball, because it was a pretty good shot off my hand. I wouldn't say it was the best shot off my hand. And that 10-pin is just telling me that this ball is traversing through too much oil now to really kick out the pocket. Or it could have, I mean, it could have just been a bad shot. But typically a ball like this isn't really designed, or not designed, but typically balls like this don't roll super good for me once I got to get in like I am now and really shaping it. So I'll move left again one more time before I move back right and try to keep the ball a little bit more in front of me. Now that I'm nice and warm, nice and loose, I can probably throw the ball a little bit harder in front of me. And that's kind of what I like with these kind of balls anyways, to play that part of the lane. So like I said, we'll move a little bit further left, create a little bit more shape, and see what happens when we send it into the friction instead of keeping it in the oil like I did those last couple shots. I'm gonna keep this one in a little bit because when I get it right, it's no good. So now I think I've reached the out of play territory for this Hyped Hybrid, especially now that I'm this far left trying to create this much angle. When I try to create the larger angles, it kind of just shoots through the front, really struggles to come around the corner. And then when I get it in, like it wants to hook even when I get it in, like you saw with that 4-pin. So now I'm gonna move like further right than when I started this video and see how this ball looks like now that there's a little bit of transition on the lanes. And with the polish, I think that it should look pretty good from a little bit straighter. Plus, it plays into my A game. So if it's there, it's gonna be a really good thing for this Hyped Hybrid. Oh yeah. Hook. So I think so far that part of the lane has looked best, but I think it can look a little bit better because I think I'm too close to the friction right now. So on this next group of shots, I'm gonna move like maybe 4 and 1, maybe 4 and 2 left, and get away from the friction a little bit, but still getting it into the friction relatively early. And I think, it's my prediction, that these next group of shots is gonna be the best look so far with this Hyped Hybrid. Overall, I really, really like what I'm seeing out of this Hyped Hybrid. I also have an Electrify Solid that I have drilled that I'm going to review next. So it's going to be some pretty stiff competition for which lower oil or lower end performance category ball is going to make the bag between this and the Electrify Solid. Let's get back on the lanes. Oh, missed left. Yeah, no chance. All right, don't miss into the soup. Like that. Okay, so really, don't miss into the soup. All right, last shot before the versatility test. Let's make it a good one. So I would agree, and I hope you guys agree as well, that that part of the lane right there was arguably the best look for this ball. Maybe it was similar to where I was playing when we first started the video, but I think now that we have some games or some shots on this lane, it's not as jumpy in the back part of the lane, not as responsive. So for me, what I took away from this Hyped Hybrid, the situations that I would throw this ball in, if I was gonna throw it on the fresh, I would absolutely knock the shine off, maybe hit it with like a 3,000, maybe 2,000, depending on the bowling center, depending on what house shot you guys are bowling on, more volume, maybe use a little more surface, less volume, maybe a little bit less surface. But then with the shine, I think it'll be a really good step down from something like a phase 2 or something like even the RSTX1, maybe a step down from the Zen Master, where you don't necessarily want to get in and boom it. You kind of want to stay in the same part of the lane. I think that's the situation where I can see this with polish looking really good. So now we're going to get into the versatility test, where we're going to throw 3 shots from 3 different zones to see if this ball is versatile or not. Let me know in the comments if you think this one's going to look good from zone 1, zone 2, zone 3. And the zones are 15 with my feet, 25 with my feet, 35 with my feet. Those are starting points. I do drift a little bit to the right, so it's going to be close but not exact. Fireball for zone 1 loaded. This should look pretty good here. So from zone 1, the cover on this ball is just a little, or not a little, way too responsive for it to really get down lane and make it look any kind of sort of way half decent. Zone 2, like I said before throwing that shot, it was gonna look good. It's that part of the lane that really looks good. And then from zone 3, I fell off my shot, sure, but I got the ball going in the direction that it needed to be, and it cleared the fronts with ease, responded very well to the friction, went through the pins the right way. So 2 out of 3 ain't bad. If I had to guess, it probably would have been zone 1 and 2 that it struck with, and maybe not from zone 3. But 2 out of 3, like I said, ain't bad. Thank you guys so much for joining me in this video. Remember that if you want to order this Hyped Hybrid based on my recommendation, based on what you saw on the lanes, I would super appreciate it if you took the 1 second, the 1 click to click the link in the description so that Bowler's Mart knows that I sent you. Like I said, supporting them supports me directly, and I really appreciate it. I love you guys. Till next time.